Hello everyone, we are here to do a report about RA 7718 Expanded BOT Law. Introduction to RA 7718. Republic Act 7718, commonly known as the Expanded Build, Operate, Transfer BOT Law, represents a landmark legislation the Philippines aim at revolutionizing infrastructure development through public-private partnerships, which is PPPs. Enacted in 1994, RA 7718 serves as a legislative framework that enables the government to collaborate with private sector in financing, constructing, operating, and maintaining various infrastructure projects across the country. Purpose and significance of RA 7718 in infrastructure development. The primary purpose of RA 7718 is to address the challenges of inadequate public infrastructure and limited government resources by leveraging private sector investment and expertise. The law seeks to encourage private sector participation in infrastructure projects by providing conducive legal environment and streamlining project approval processes and establishing clear guidelines for PPPs. Background historical context. The Philippines was reported as the first country in Southeast Asia to enact a BOT law according to Lanto G 2008. Build, Operate, Transfer for Infrastructure Development Lessons from the Philippines Experience. And the Ramos administration successfully used it to solve the critical power problems of the 90s. Original enactment of BOT law under RA 6957. Republic Act number 6957 enacted on July 9, 1990 introduced the Build, Operate, Transfer BOT law, a milestone in the Philippine legislative history. The law aimed to boost private sector involvement in financing, constructing, operating, and maintaining infrastructure projects to meet the increasing demand for modern public facilities. Recognizing the pivotal role of the private sector in national growth and development, this approach sought to address infrastructure needs effectively. Despite initial success, RA 6957 encountered challenges in attracting investments and ensuring project viability. This prompted its amendment in 1994, resulting in the enactment of Republic Act number 7718. Evolution and amendments leading to the revised law RA 7718. RA 7718, known as the Expanded BOT Law, was introduced to address deficiencies in its predecessor by implementing reforms to make BOT projects more appealing to private investors and streamline the approval process. The evolution of Build, Operate, Transfer BOT Law in the Philippines, stemming from Republic Act number 6957 in 1990, reflects an ongoing endeavor to tackle the country's infrastructure needs. This journey towards the revised law, Republic Act number 7718, entailed multiple amendments and improvements to strengthen the legal framework for public-private partnership PPPs. Why is expanded BOT law important? Our country needs a lot of new infrastructures, but the government doesn't always have enough money to pay for it all. That's where the private companies come in. They invest their money into building these projects, and in return they get to operate them for a while and make some profit. It's a win-win situation because we get better infrastructure without putting too much strain on the government's budget. And on this slide, we have the BOT law comparison between RA 6957 and RA 7718. Now we have the participants of the BOT process. First, we have the principal. Typically, the government, their role is to draw up a list of infrastructure investments in accordance to their overall economic and development plans. The government then requests proposals from private companies to carry out these plans if it is unable to fully fund investments. They will also grant concessions to the concessionaire, which typically consortium of companies. Concessionaire. A group of companies interested in taking on infrastructure project or facilities design, financing, construction, operation, and maintenance. When the private investors owners attempt to recover their investments and turn a profit, the concessionaire holds a property rights to the facility or the assets. Investors, shareholders, or lenders. Lenders provide credit financing to the consortium, which negotiates with the principal on certain guarantees or credit enhancements to make the project appealing to the lenders, while shareholders contribute funds in exchange for equity. Contractor. Due to the fact that BOT projects involve a large-scale building and construction of a facility, the concessionaire typically hires a contractor for the project's construction of the facility. Operator. The concessionaire hires the operator to oversee and run the facility after the construction is complete. The operator is frequently one of the consortium's members with the most comprehensive knowledge of the business and the local environment. Loan and contract agreements. Concession agreement. This is the agreement between the host government and the concessionaire. It is the main contract in a BOT project. Following are the details as per the concession agreement. The concession period, the starting date, and the terminal date. The structure of the concessionaire, the financial scheme, the construction duration and process, tariff structure with tariff revision provisions, rights and obligations of both parties, government and private party, guarantees, financial and material. Loan agreement. The lenders and concessionaires sign a loan agreement that details the loan amount, the timeline of repayment, and the different guarantees and the terms that have been agreed upon. Shareholder agreement. This agreement involves equity investors and the concessionaire with the consortium primarily using its own capital for equity financing, although external investors may also contribute. It specifies payment methods, the revenue and dividend distribution, and the recommended debt to equity ratio. Construction contract. The contract between the construction contractor and the concessionaire is typically a fixed price turnkey contract, which may also include both design and construction aspects in a single general contract. This arrangement is aimed at reducing project time, quantity, and cost risk. The fixed price turnkey agreement specifies penalties for late delivery by the contractor. Operation and maintenance contract. This contract is crucial as it impacts the project's revenue generation and the asset's durability. It may detail user fees or rates, processes for rate adjustments, facility usage, maintenance expense reimbursement, and other pertinent information. First, we have Malhotra 1997 summarized the reason for private participation in infrastructure. Investment requirements exceed the capacities of national utilities and governments. The performance of the infrastructure sector has in general not met international standards. The managerial and technical resources available to the government are inadequate. B. To facilitate fast-track implementation in order to optimize the merits brought by PSP, the government needs to consider the following. To create a competitive environment in which the private sector will be able to compete with each other. Distinguish between working fields suitable for and unsuitable for PSP. C. Issues with PSP. On the other hand, some potential problems can be pointed out as follows. Unlimited PSP tends to ignore public interest, including environmental consideration and the living conditions of the people. Competition sometimes results in monopolization by a strong private sector, which leads to the inefficient operation and high cost of service. Excessive competition often leads to lower service levels and discriminatory treatment. This slide, we showed a diagram about the risk of private sector participation, in which we will explain the risk and the
Sharing
solution for that problem.
complication. The BOT law is a complex approach because there are multiple participants, each with distinct goals, functions, and interests, and because this objective must be harmonized or reconciled in order to achieve the specific infrastructure goal. Several risks can be an impact to BOT projects exist, and in order to reduce those risks, it is necessary for investors to agree on risk sharing allocation and apply risk management strategies.
This is the diagram showing the complex and title.
This is a diagram that shows the complex relationship among different participants in a BOT project. Risk host government. Risk sharing complication. The BOT law is a complex approach because there are multiple participants, each with distinct goals, functions, and interests, and because this objective must be harmonized or reconciled in order to achieve the specific infrastructure goal. Several risks can be an impact to BOT projects exist, and in order to reduce those risks, it is necessary for investors to agree on risk sharing allocation and apply risk management strategies. A diagram that shows the complex relationship among different participants in a BOT project.
In this slide, we will show you the bidding process of a BOT project. First, there's a pre-bid conference for projects costing less than 300 million. A pre-bid conference must be conducted by the relevant agency or LGU at least 30 days before the bid submission deadline. Its purpose is to clarify provisions, requirements, terms, and any other raised matters regarding the bidding documents. For projects costing more than 300 million and above, the pre-bid conference shall be conducted 90 to 120 days before the submission of bids. The two-envelope system. The Philippine government implements the two-envelope system to assess proposals where pre-qualified bidders submit bids in two sealed envelopes, one for technical proposal and the other for financial proposal. Evaluation begins with assessing the technical merits, followed by the financial evaluation, focusing on the project's financial viability and economic benefits. Still under the bidding process, for A, we have the technical proposal shall contain the following: bid security in the form of cash, technical soundness, preliminary engineering design including the proposed project timeline, project costs including the operating and maintenance cost requirements and the proposed financial plan. The preliminary environment assessment identifies potential adverse environmental effects of the project and propose corresponding mitigating measures. And last, we have the operational feasibility of the project entails outlining the proposed organization methods and procedures for its operation and maintenance under bidding. For B, we have financial proposals shall contain the following: proposed user tolls, fees, rentals, and other charges. The projected value of user tolls, fees, rental, or other charges over the fixed term realized on the discount rate and foreign exchange rate prescribed in the bidding documents. On this diagram, we will show you the bidding process between the private sector and the government agency. For our notes, in here we have the pre-qualification is based on 3 criteria: technical experience, financial capability, and compliance with legal requirements. The Investment Coordinating Committee is an interagency body responsible for overseeing national programs and projects. The Monetary Board reviews and and approves the terms of foreign exchange payments. This next slide, this is the bidding process of the unsolicited proposal. For this next slide, we have the contract of private sector participation. For A, examination of pre-qualification. For A, we have the pro-qualification requirements. To pro-qualify, a project proponent must comply with the following requirements. B, we have the pre-qualification bid and award committee. The head of the concerned agency LG shall create a pre-qualification bids and awards committee PBAC composed of the following: specification of PPP models and their variations. Here it shows the type of contracts, which is the service contract, management contract, lease, concession, and lot and variance.
Implementation process. Stages of project development. Preliminary study. In the Philippines, both public and private sectors are responsible for designing, financing, and constructing priority infrastructure projects listed in government's medium-term public investment program. Selection process. The BOT approach includes solicited and unsolicited project proposal. Solicited projects involve a public bidding process where the government distributes requests for expressions of interest to provide specific infrastructure facilities. Project implementation. After concession is granted, the consortium will develop a work program including project design, detailed engineering, and obtaining necessary legal permits for project execution. Stages of project development. First one is construction. Infrastructure construction commences once all legal, environmental, and social prerequisites are fulfilled. The contractor oversees this process, employing suppliers, labor force, project management, and technical experts. Second is operation. After construction, the concessionaire appoints an operator to manage and maintain the facility for the duration of the concession period.
One of the successful BOT projects, the North Luzon Expressway, which is the NLEX, exemplifies a successful application of the Build, Operate, Transfer BOT law in the Philippines. Managed by the Manila North Tollways Corporation (MTC), NLEX is a toll expressway reconnecting Metro Manila to Central and Northern Luzon provinces. Initially overseen by the Philippine National Construction Corporation (PNCC), the MNTC took over corporations in 2005, initiating a substantial upgrade and rehabilitation endeavor. Through a collaboration between the government and private sector, MNTC obtained a concession under a supplemental cooperation agreement to finance, enhance, and operate and maintain NLEX. Signed in 1998, the STOA transferred rights from PNCC to MNTC, allowing toll collection over 30 years to recover investments and settle loans. This approach aligns with the BOT law's tenet of direct road user-free revenue collection, ensuring that toll fees are borne only to those who utilize the expressway, without burdening the non-users with tax subsidies. The successful financing of the NLEX project, despite the country's modest credit rating, serves as a model for transport financing in Asia. Acknowledged as the Asia-Pacific Transport Deal of the Year in 2001, the project underscores the efficacy of private sector investment in infrastructure development. This partnership enables the government to allocate resources to other vital services while fostering economic growth and regional connectivity, and highlighting the BOT law's role in facilitating productive collaboration between public and private entities for national development. Case study number 2, LRT Line 1 extension. The successful implementation of the LRT Line 1 extension project in the Philippines demonstrates the effectiveness of the Build, Operate, Transfer BOT law in infrastructure development. Managed by the Light Rail Manila Corporation, the project involvement extending the reach of the Light Rail Transit Line 1 in Metro Manila through a concession agreement. LRMC Finance constructed and operated the extension, expanding the mass transit system's coverage and enhancing mobility for residents. Under the BOT framework, private sector participation was pivotal in funding and executing the project, relieving the burden on government resources. LRMC's investment and expertise facilitated the timely completion of the extension, addressing transportation challenges and meeting the growing demand for efficient public transit in the metropolitan area. The project's success underscores the effectiveness of public-private partnership in driving infrastructure development and improving urban connectivity. Through the LRT Line 1 extension, the commuters benefited from the enhanced accessibility and reduced travel times, while the economy experienced positive ripple effects from the improved transportation infrastructure. The project's successful implementation served as a model for future BOT initiatives, showcasing how collaborative efforts between the government and private sector can lead impactful and sustainable development in the Philippines.
Unsuccessful BOT projects. Case study number 1. Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA Terminal 3. Unsuccessful BOT projects. The NAIA Terminal 3 project, constructed under Build Operate Transfer Agreement, faced controversy due to violation of the BOT law and its implementing rules. The terminal, designed by Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, aimed to accommodate 13 million passengers annually but faced delay in completion since its inception in 1997. Parcasio and Fraport AG won the bid to construct the terminal, forming Philippine Air Terminal Corporation or PIATCO for the project's execution. The BOT contract includes several agreements, but controversies arose over deviation from the original bid, financial capacity requirements, and government guarantees. The Philippine Supreme Court declared the BOT contract null and void, citing violations such as amendments allowing government guarantees contrary to BOT law provisions. The court also noted the absence of Parcasio Consortium's financial capacity to require under the law. The Philippine government eventually expropriated the terminal project, leading to legal battles and compensation claims by PIATCO and Fraport AG. While PIATCO expressed willingness to settle, Fraport AG's claim was dismissed by the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. The government reported the terminal to be 98% complete but requiring additional funds for completion. Investigation into the terminal structural issues further delayed its opening, postponing proposed test runs indefinitely. Case study number 2. Efren L. Alvarez, petitioner, the people of the Philippines. The case involves a local official, Mayor of Muñoz, Nueva Ecija, convicted of violating the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act due to irregularities in awarding a construction contract for the Wagwag shopping mall. Despite the official claims of good faith, the court found the evidence of partially and negligence. The official failed to ensure that the winning bidder, Austrian Professional Incorporated, met legal and financial requirements outlined in the Build Operate Transfer Law, hindering fair competitions. The court emphasized that the official actions didn't meet the standards of substantial compliance with the law. By neglecting to verify API's qualification properly, the official favored API and excluded other potential bidders. Additionally, relying solely on API's assurance without verification constituted gross negligence, undermining the integrity of the bidding process. Furthermore, the, the court rejected the official argument of unequal treatment, stating that the prosecution decision rests on evidence. The failure to prosecute other involved doesn't absolve the official guilt, especially without proof of discriminatory intent. Ultimately, the official conviction stands due to partially negligence and failure to uphold BOT law requirements, leading to irregularities in the contract awarding process.
Positive impacts of PPAs on the community. First, I'll show you the 4 components of the environment, which is people. Both projects can enhance people's quality of life by improving infrastructure such as roads, bridges, public transportational systems. These developments facilitate easier access to essential services, employment opportunities, and education, leading to social, economic growth and improved livelihoods for the community. Earth. Both BOT projects often incorporate environmental sustainability measures such as green building practices, energy efficient designs, and land restoration initiatives. These efforts mitigate environmental degradation, conserve natural resources, and promote ecological balance. Water. BOT projects may include wastewater treatment facilities, flood management system, and water conservation measures benefiting both communities and the environment. Proper management of water resources can reduce pollution, mitigate flood risk, and ensure access to clean water for drinking and irrigation. Air. BOT projects that promote sustainable and transportation options such as mass transit system and eco-friendly vehicles can help reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Improve mobility and reduce traffic congestion, contribute to cleaner air quality and public health benefits. First example is the Davao City Coastal Road Project. This coastal road project was initiated to address the traffic congestion and improve transportation efficiency in Davao City by constructing a new road network that diverts traffic away from the city center along the coastlines of Bago Playa, Talomo, Matina Playa Times Beach, Rojas Avenue section to Santana Wharf, and Parcasio. Towards the people and earth. For the people, the Davao Coastal Project serves a vital link between key areas of Davao City, providing improved connectivity and accessibility. It offers a faster and more efficient route, allowing commuters to travel and travelers to bypass congested urban areas. For Earth, the Davao Coastal Road Project incorporates green recreational areas along its route, contributing positively to the environment. This green spaces serves as a natural habitat for various flora and fauna, promoting biodiversity and conservation. The next example would be the Laguna AAA Water Corporation. It had a positive impact towards the water and air of the community. For the water, the province of Laguna's water quality has improved and water resource waste has decreased as a result of this project's reduction of water system losses via effective infrastructure and leak detection technology. Furthermore, the availability of a dependable and secure water supply has reduced household dependence on groundwater extraction, protecting aquifers and avoiding contamination of groundwater resources. For the air, Laguna Water Corporation's efforts have helped improve air quality by reducing the reliance on motorized pumps used for extracting groundwater, which emit air pollutants.
Negative impacts of PPAs on the community. 4 components of the law environment. People. Rapid infrastructure development under BOT schemes may result in displacement of communities and disruption of traditional livelihoods construction activities. also can pose health and safety risks to local residents due to noise pollution, air pollution, and from construction vehicles and potential accidents. Second is earth. Despite efforts to minimize environmental harm, large-scale infrastructure projects can still lead to habitat loss, deforestation, soil erosion, and disruption of ecosystem. Land clearing and construction activities may also contribute to soil and water pollution, affecting soil fertility and water quality. Next is water. Construction activities associated with BOT projects can lead to sedimentation, erosion, and contamination of water bodies, adversely affecting aquatic ecosystem and water quality. Improper disposal of construction waste and chemical can further exacerbate water pollution problems. Next is air. Construction activities and increased traffic associated with BOT projects can temporarily worsen air quality due to dust emissions, vehicle exhaust, and emission from construction machinery. Without proper mitigation measures, these pollutants can contribute to respiratory problems and environmental degradation. Findings: Manila Northway Tollways Corporation Project, or MNTC. This project involved the construction and operation of toll roads, particularly the North Luzon Expressway, or NLEX, which traverse highly populated areas in Metro Manila and nearby provinces. People. During the construction phase, there were significant disruptions to traffic flow, causing inconvenience and delays for commuters and travelers using the affected routes. This congestion resulted in increased travel times, stress, and frustration among motorists, negatively affecting their quality of life. Air. The NLEX construction caused heavy traffic, leading to increased vehicle emission and air pollution in the region due to poor traffic management, and the project failure to address congestion and implement pollution control worsened the air quality, affecting the health of nearby communities. Laiban Dam Project, Taytay Rizal. Intended to provide additional water supply to Metro Manila, the project faced opposition due to concerns over its environmental and social effects. Findings in Earth. The construction of dam required the clearing of a significant portion of the forested area, leading to deforestation and habitat loss. Additionally, the project resulted in the displacement of indigenous communities and disrupted ecosystem in the region. The operation of the dam led to changes in water flow patterns and increased sedimentation, affecting downstream ecosystem and biodiversity. Advantages. In conclusion, the implementation of Build Operate Transfer Law in the Philippines has brought forth several advantages. Firstly, it has facilitated the development of crucial infrastructure projects by leveraging private sector investment and expertise, thereby reducing the burden on the government's budget. Secondly, BOT projects have led to the timely completion of the infrastructure initiatives, as private entities are often incentivized to adhere to strict timelines to maximize returns on their investment. Additionally, BOT arrangements have stimulated economic growth by creating employment opportunities and fostering innovation in project design and execution.
The disadvantages of the expanded BOT Law RA 7718. However, alongside its advantages, the BOT law also presents significant disadvantages. One notable drawback is the potential for higher project costs, as private investors seek to recoup their investments through user fees or tolls, which could result in increased financial burden for end users. Moreover, the long-term nature of BOT contracts may experience the government to financial risk, particularly if revenue projections fall short or if contractual obligations are not met by private partners. Additionally, the involvement of multiple stakeholders in BOT projects can lead to complex government structure and regulatory challenges, potentially resulting in delays and inefficiencies. Limitation. In summary, the BOT law in the Philippines faces challenges due to project feasibility, legal uncertainties, and political risk. Some projects may not be financially viable under this framework, and regulatory complexities can deter private investors. Moreover, ensuring equitable access to services and meeting diverse community needs remains a challenge. Overcoming this limitation requires policy reforms, improved governance, and better stakeholder engagement to support sustainable infrastructure development.
Conclusion: RA 7718 expanded BOT law. In conclusion, the implementation of the Build, Operate, Transfer Law or BOT law in the Philippines underscores the critical need for comprehensive reforms across policy, legal, and institutional frameworks to maximize the effectiveness of public-private partnership or PPP in the infrastructure development. To address the multi-faceted challenges encountered in BOT projects, it is imperative for the government to provide a clear and enabling framework that describes roles. This framework should be organized in law or official policy statement, supported by accompanying implementing rules and regulation or IRR to ensure clarity and flexibility in responding to changing economic and market conditions. Moreover, competitive bidding procedures must remain fundamental to government procurement policy, emphasizing transparency and efficiency in project implementations, while affirming the government commitment to defending contractual rights and obligations, establishing a strong institutional framework for the review and approval of BOT projects along with capacity building initiatives for project design, technical analysis, and contract monitoring are essential to enhance governance and oversight throughout the project lifecycle. Furthermore, instituting mechanism for independent evaluation of BOT projects and allowing private proponents to collect users' charge aligned with the opportunity cost and their investment are crucial steps toward ensuring project viability and reducing reliance on government subsidies. By adopting these strategy approaches, the Philippines can strengthen its PPP framework and foster sustainable infrastructure development for the benefit of its citizens and the broader community.
And for our last slide, we have our references. That would be all. Thank you for watching.